Birthday bonanza time, birthday bonanza time. I didn't do this in the month of my birthday because I was busy, I was traveling, so just didn't get round to it. There was no time in the schedule. So I thought I would do a bonanza week in the lead up to what would be the day of the month of my birthday. So I've just put the link out on my social media pages, namely Facebook, X, I have to keep remembering to call it X, and I will send a different link out for those of you on my e-newsletter. So let's get straight into it. Show you this one first, just so you get a sense of what I'm talking about here. So we've got a couple of options for those of you who are e-newsletter subscribers, in that you get my free e-newsletter that goes out a couple of times a month. All of the featured courses are £56. So we've got the one-day practitioner insider secret. So if you're a coach, therapist, entrepreneur, even the business owner, you want to get your ideas out into the world, and this takes you through designing your workshops, your courses, your programs. I have to update the technology section, so I'll probably do a re-record of that, so I'll add that as a bonus as well. But it really takes you through the process that I go through when I'm creating my programs, my courses, my workshop, and everything that sits underneath that you wouldn't necessarily see in the front facing bit. So the prices are in dollars because it's on dollar site. So 497 usually. It's £56 for e-newsletter subscribers, or 56% off for non-subscribers. So those of you who are in the public. So 219, the one-day MBS Mind Body Spirit Energy Fest, usually 247, 56 for subscribers, 109 for non-subscribers. We've got the Banish Procrastination. If you want this one, grab it early. Pun really intended. So usually 250, so it's 56 for subscribers, 110 for non-subscribers. The 10-part Raising Your Money Vibration, normally 597. It's 56 for, you're just going to be getting a bit repetitive now, 56 for each newsletter subscribers, 263 for non-subscribers. There's also the Money Relationship Workshop, which is 321, so 56 for subscribers, 141. So there's that one. Let me put this one up as well. And then I'm going to take that first one down so we can see this other one a bit more clearly, and put myself back in a little square. And then we've got the one-day fearless public speaking workshop, one of my favorites. So if you have been thinking of getting your message out into the world, and for whatever reason you've been putting it off, it might be that you just don't know how to structure things, you're not sure about getting clarity of your message, you don't know how to, get the ideas flowing. And oftentimes it's not even about the ideas, there's so much you could do. So you want a format and a formula that goes with that. Plus, of course, addressing the mindset pieces, the limiting beliefs, the negative emotions, all of that. Then do the Fearless Public Speaking Workshop. So that one-day version is $257, £56 for e-newsletter subscribers, 113 for non-subscribers. We've got the one-day Huna workshop, an intro to Ho'oponopono. So usually 307. It's 56 for e-newsletter subscribers, 135 for non-subscribers. The 7-part chakra balance series. Now, all of these are video webinar workshops available on demand. They were recorded with a live audience, so you get the benefit of hearing the questions that other people came up with and learning from that as well. But these are the recordings of that. So the 7-part chakra balance system, usually 399. It's 56 for e-newsletter subscribers and 176 for non-subscribers. We got the one-day magic and gratitude workshop. It is so amazing. And seriously, the life-changing results from the Magic and Gratitude program are just off the charts. So that's usually $250. It's 56 for e-newsletter subscribers and 110 for non-subscribers. And then we've got the one day. So we've got a 10-part series and the one-day money breakthrough workshops. You get that all in a condensed version. And the one days are normally about 8 hours. Of course, you can press pause and whatever. One of the things I suggest, actually, a couple of approaches you can take with these. You can have them playing in the background by osmosis when you're doing other stuff. So you're just kind of having them on the subliminal first. And then what I suggest is putting the time aside, either in 2 half-day chunks, or just block out the day like you're at the workshop and act as if you are at the workshop. Do the exercises when we do the exercises. Do the clearing processes when we do the clearing processes. Take a break when we take a break. So a couple of ways you could do it. But the one-day money breakthrough, it's usually 317. That's dollars. It's £56 for e-newsletter subscribers and 139 for non-subscribers. So those are the featured courses. Now, in terms of the format, they are all video webinar workshops available on demand. Once I've set you up and sent you your login, you can just get started straight away. And for those of you who are purchasing during the birthday bonanza, you have lifetime access. So that means you can go back to the material, redo processes, etc. Just going to very quickly just share with you, I've just pulled out a few. I want to keep this one short and sweet. I've just finished a meeting, so I want to go and have my dinner. So in terms of people say, oh, does it really work online? This is from one of my wonderful clients who is in Australia. And this is an MP3 recording. So it wasn't video webinar, it was audio. Back in the day where I used to do a dial up and people would listen in to audio. She wasn't there live either because I ran it live. Pippa wasn't able to make it because of the time difference. Although that said, she often was on the webinars live. On this occasion, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever it was. So she listened to the recording. And you can see what she says on the screen. What was even more mind-blowing is a couple of years later, somebody was saying, oh, Marilyn, I can't make all the lives. Will it still work? Will the clearing still work? So I said, let me show you this testimonial feedback from Pippa. As I was reading it, I realized, this was like 3 or 4 years after, as I'm reading it, I'm like, hold on a minute. Pippa is describing the order and sequence in which I did those particular clearings. She would have had no idea because it was audio. I didn't tell anyone what I was doing. All people would have heard was me doing the, and even someone who's a Huna practitioner probably got no idea what I just did because we all use our breath differently. We draw the symbols differently. This was for the Huna workshop, of course. So there's no way people would have known. But she said initially my third eye, my throat, my heart center felt like it was compressed. The very first, I get goosebumps when I talk about it still, the very first symbol that I used was a literal translation. Thunder comes down and strikes the earth and makes the earth shake. So some people feel it as an energetic pushback. Now I'm in the UK, Pip is in Australia, other side of the world, and it's a recording. She then said it was uncomfortable to say the least. After the first round of Huna, I sensed the image of a triangle of fire. What Pippa had no idea about is after I did the let's slam it up and break it all to pieces, I then use a fire symbol, which is a red triangle of fire, to burn away the embers of what we'd just been doing. She then says, during and after the second round, I felt the pain being drawn out of my body via my heart center. Pippa had no idea that after I did that, I did a process called sword fingers, which we use in the soul plan reading, and I was drawing the energy out. Once now we've broken it up and we use the fire energy. She then says, I slowly began to feel lighter. My heart center opened more than previously. And I felt like I was glowing from the inside out. And as I'm typing the phrase, as if the light of my soul is now able to shine through my heart center comes to mind. Pippa had no idea that the next thing I did is use the symbol called the wave of light that makes you gasp, like, and the symbol actually has pictures of sun radiating. I kid you not. I think my Huna book is up there. I'm going to show you a couple of these in a minute. I'll show, this is the Huna symbols book. And back in the day, I hadn't, this was years ago. So I'd never run any Huna intros. I'd never run any Huna workshops. Nothing was visual because we didn't have the technology then. And I never, ever, 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 ever spoke about the symbols. Ever. I do now, of course. I didn't back then. And then she said the third round gave me a sense of my heart center expanding into the universe. And I now have a feeling of being more open. I believe I've totally cleared the blocks. I feel confident, happy, open, positive. I'm glowing from the joy of it. She had no idea that after I did that, I used a symbol to open up the body and do the chakras. I'm not kidding you. Seriously, let me just find a couple of these just so I can show you. So this is a symbol that I use, for example, to open things up. And this one is to open the mouth or reveal secrets. If there are things you want to release, it's a great one for that. Let's see. Oh, Kahanu. So you know when I said the wave of light? This is the one with the wave of light. Literal translation, the wave of light that makes you gasp. Seriously, Pippa had never seen these before. Nobody had seen them before unless they had been in Hawaii with me where I went to study. Thunder comes down and strikes the earth. That's the thunder comes down, the literal translation. Thunder comes down from the heavens and strikes the earth and makes the earth shake. So when Pippa was saying she felt a pushback, and this is the red triangle of fire that I used. So, and to send light swelling upwards and make it hum. So, yes, that's the long answer to do the processes, do the exercises, do the energy clearing still work, even if you're not there live? That's a very long way to say yes. YES. Let me show you a couple of others. What's this one? What's this one? So this was the Huna webinar. Ignore the URLs, they don't exist anymore. They're on the platform now that I'm talking about, which you'll get access to. But someone said, Marilyn, thank you. Sitting here with a big smile on my face. And I think this was one of the first times I'd run it as a video webinar. Actually, this might be the recording that you're actually getting. So that was another. What else we got here? Yes, with the fearless public speaking, again, on this occasion, I remember it distinctly. I was in Gran Canaria on holiday. I'm sitting by the pool. I was reading a book on my iPad and a message popped up on Messenger from Rachel. And she said, I've just spent the day with you. And I went like this and I look around the pool and I'm thinking, because it was like a family resort. And I was like, oh my God, is Rachel here at the same resort with us? I didn't see her. And then the rest of the message came through and she said, I've just done your fearless public speaking workshop. So Rachel took herself through the workshop. I wasn't even in the country. I was on holiday sitting by the pool in Gran Canaria in January 2020. Yeah, just before the whole world went into lockdown. We were originally going to go in March, April, maybe May time. We were like, no, let's just go straight after Christmas. Thank God. So I'll read you what Rachel has said, and actually check out Pippa Neve, Pippa, Neve.com. She's just also won an award for being a fabulous practitioner. So if you're out in Australia, check her out. This is Rachel CK. And she says, for those of you who were asking me about my big talk in January and shared my joy that I was so happy with how it had gone, ... Marilyn Devonish is the awesome lady that enabled me to breathe, think, and talk all at the same time. And now you can do it too. Whether you get nervous in social settings, small groups, or big stages, these techniques work. I'm tapping into what I learned almost every day. What's holding you back from sharing your passions or knowledge? Rachel CK, educator, natural life coach, awesome mama, and oil lover. Some of you know she does the doTERRA oils. So, and again, I wasn't there. Rachel took herself through the very same workshop that is available now, £56 if you're a subscriber, or the price I've just said with the 56% off if you're not. So that just gives you a bit of a flavour. What else have we got here? Sorry, there was another one. Let me see. I know. That was the Practitioner Insider Secrets, wasn't it? Let's see. Oh, yeah. So someone else has said, this was the very first time I ran the Practitioner Insider Secrets online. And they said, what an amazing workshop. Thank you so much for your time and energy. Someone else who was there said they thought, because they'd done it in person previously, a couple of years before, and they said, I thought I would miss the being in the room, but it was amazing. So it really is. If you've done online stuff before and you're somebody who's like doing the nodding dog because it's a bit dry and boring, that is mine, a full immersion. You feel as though you are in the room. So that's what they had said. And someone else said, let's see, let me move the other one out of the way so you can see it a bit more clearly. And they had said the biggest gift you can give to yourself if you're not sure how to get started with your ideas is to attend this workshop. So again, they're at the Practitioner Insider Secrets online. So all of the workshops that I'm talking about are video webinar. So on demand, available at your fingertips. And for those of you who are on the e-newsletter list, you get savings, depending on which one you're getting, of up to £541, which I think is a fabulous deal, even if I do say so myself. So yeah, that's it. So you got details going across the bottom of the screen, 56 for all of those workshops, everything that you've just seen on the chart at the beginning. And if you're coming in later, hello to those of you on the Facebook Live. If you're coming in later, then go back to the beginning. You'll see the chart where I've laid out all of the workshops that are available. Those are £56, regardless of which one you want to do or which ones you want to do. If you're an e-newsletter subscriber, and I've just seen a message pop up on my messenger, and yes, how much is the e-newsletter? The e-newsletter is free. It's my e-newsletter that I send out several times a month. So if you're on the e-newsletter list, it's free. But e-newsletter subscribers always get a different deal. So let's say if I launch a workshop, during the launch, e-newsletter subscribers always get a 10% off whatever the launch is, and I'm doing something special for them for the birthday bonanza. But the e-newsletter itself is free. And they get it's £56, regardless of which of the workshops, or 56% off, which I think is still brilliant for people who are not on the e-newsletter list. So yeah, it's free. You can sign up. But yeah, and also if you're buying 3 or more workshops, so let's just say you're on my e-newsletter list and you buy 3 workshops at £56 per piece, then you can also get a free 1-hour online coaching session with me, which is worth £150. And then so you can focus on whatever you want to focus on. So let's just say one of the workshops you've booked is a fearless public speaking, and that's where you really want to put your focus. We can maybe do a HUNA, access consciousness, belief change session around that. If you have purchased the banished procrastination of one of them and that's the area you want to focus, we can do some coaching and stuff around the procrastination. If it was the HUNA that you've purchased, then we can do some of the HUNA. We can do a HUNA energy clearing for you. Bit of Ho'oponopono. So yeah, you choose which area you want to focus on. So if you purchase 3 or more workshops, and that applies to both the e-newsletter subscribers and those of you who are not on my e-newsletter list, 3 or more workshops, and then you'll get a bonus 1-hour online coaching session, and you can use that as you choose. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Couple of quick reminders while we're in real time, if you're watching this in real time, some dates for your diary. Dates for your diary. Oh my God, this one is very exciting. I have not put, none of this is in my e-newsletter yet. I've just been working on it today in between stuff. So some of you might have seen about the before and after with myself and Anne-Marie. So I ran the health activation day, and we had the most incredible before and after results. I might have I got the before and after results here? Let me just see if they're still in the stack, just to give you a flavor of what I mean. Oh yes, I have. So I'm going to put these up, and then I'm going to move a couple of things around just so we get a better. Okay. Let me just move a little something so we can see them a bit better. So how about we do that? All right. So we had some incredible before and afters. Now, normally, so who you've just seen in the photo is Anne-Marie, who does the BioWell scans. Amazing. Alchemy Key, from Alchemy Key. So normally you would have a couple of weeks, at least a week, a couple of weeks in between doing your before BioWell scan and doing your after BioWell scan, because you will then go away and work on some of the issues that have been highlighted by the reports. We had less than 6 hours for the health activation day. So I was doing the frequency healing, doing the HUNA energy clearing, the scalar waves, all of that sort of stuff. So people did a scan when they came in the morning. They did a scan 6 hours later, and then in between, I was facilitating all the healing stuff. What you're looking at now is someone's before and after scan. There are loads of different reports. I'm not going to talk about those here, because this is what I'm going to tell you about, is where you can learn more. The before scan, what you'd call the chakras, their energies all over the place. The after scan, whoosh, very close to alignment. And Anne-Marie says it's very unusual for people to have, total alignment. This is pretty darn close. And if you could see it a little bit larger, let me see if I can make that larger. You would also notice the size of the chakra dots has also increased. We had one person, because Anne-Marie measures for a number of things, but one person, their energy reserve was 29% when they arrived in the morning, because they'd had a really busy couple of months. By the end of the day, doing the healing processes, the frequencies, the HUNA, etc., their energy reserves were up to 92%. Let me say that again. Their energy reserves were 29% at the start of the day, up to 92% 6 hours later. Incredible. So Anne-Marie and I are running a webinar. So we did the before webinar telling you what we were going to do. We're going to do the after webinar now, telling you what we did and explaining a bit more if you want to get some of these benefits. And some of you will know that, gosh, it was coming up. It's a year ago today almost. I did a series of quantum entanglement remote experiments with the energy, the Rife, the scalar, etc. last summer. Results were mind blowing. And when I say remote, I mean I was here and people were around the world, and the results within 24 hours, 48 hours, 36 hours, 72 hours would blow your mind. I did blog about it. Everyone shared their feedback in their own words. I'll put the blog somewhere around this video. If you're watching it on YouTube, it will be in the description. So Anne-Marie and I are doing this workshop on Thursday, the 26th of June, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. Be there or be square. I've also got something else coming up, which is super duper exciting the week before. Thursday, the 19th of June, if you have been thinking about legacy planning, generational wealth, and you want to do some of the things that those who are more wealthy tend to do as a matter of course, and the rest of us you just don't know about it, Josephine Wolo is coming to talk about wills and trusts and asset planning. Now that out of the gate might not sound particularly exciting, trust me. I did a very quick, well, it was meant to be a very quick call with Joe. It was going to be like a 10-15 minute call. We ended up on the call for nearly an hour and a half. So fascinating, absolutely amazing. And one of the things that she said, because I said, why would regular people want to do this? She said, Marilyn, let me give you a situation that actually happens a lot. Let's just say you've got children, grandchildren, even nieces, nephews, and you want to leave them, let's say you want to leave them your house, and you want to leave them some assets. She said, one of the things that normally happens because people aren't planning properly, let's say your child, daughter, son, etc., gets married, and they marry a horror of a narcissist, let's just say. So they finally extricate themselves and get divorced. If you haven't done proper planning or protected your assets, that awful partner can walk away with some or all of what you meant to go to your children, their children, maybe even their children's children, all by doing the very simple things that Joe is going to be talking about. And if you haven't looked into the idea of trusts, I definitely recommend it. I'm going to be all ears. I'm going to have my notepad going. So join us again. This is free. It's 19th of June, 6:30 p.m. again. So 19th of June is the trusts and wills and protecting what's yours. And then the 26th, the following week, is Anne-Marie and myself talking about the bio wealth. So if you can join us for one or both of those, please do. They are both going to be amazing. Joe has also who does the wills and trusts and she's got a book called, Protect What's Yours. She's also willing to come to Watford at some point if it's of interest. So I said, let's do the online first, because most people haven't even got their head around this particular subject. It's sort of, what's that got to do with me? Oh my God, it's got everything to do with you, particularly in the current times and what we're seeing. With everything that's happening, one of the things I said in March 2020 is what's coming is, I called it a land grab, where money is going to be transferring away from regular people and going to the super wealthy. And if any of you have been paying attention, you will see that's exactly what's been happening over the past 5 years at this point, if you're watching this in real time. So what Joe is going to be sharing is so, so, so important. And with what's happening with people's health at the moment, what Anne-Marie and I are going to be sharing is just, again, paramount. So if you know someone who could benefit from either the wonderful workshops that are on offer, 500 plus pounds worth of workshop for £56, please feel free to share the details with them. The link is www.bit.ly/special-offer-Marilyn, Marilyn. If you know people who are really focusing on health and well-being at the moment, physical health, spiritual health, energetic health, then send them the link and tell them to join myself and Anne-Marie on the 26th for the free webinar. And if you're looking, as I said, about asset protection, protecting what's yours and making the most of it, and making sure no one other than the people that you want to have it get their hands on it, then join us on the 19th of this month. And I'll put all of the information on my main website. I'll say it and I'll spell it, www.transformationstm.com. TRANCE, F for Freddie, so FORMATIONS. TM as in trademark, so transformationstm.com. Click the red Watch New button when you land on the site. A panel will slide out and then have a bit of a scroll. It's not there yet. So if you look right now, none of what I've told you about is on that website because I haven't set it up yet. This is all brand new stuff that's coming out, but you'll find it there as well. And what I'll do, let's say on Facebook, I'll put those links, one per comment. So you'll find some different links for that. I'll put one in for this offer. I'll put one in for the webinar with Joe with the Protect What's Yours with the wills and trusts, and I'll put one in for the webinar with myself and Anne-Marie about the bio well and the scalar energy, etc. So yeah, I think £56, well, I know £56 is a steal of a deal. It's only for this week, so act now, get your finger out. If you see something that you fancy, go for it. And as I said, you've got lifetime access to that material. And yeah, feel free to share to your heart's content. The more, the merrier, both in terms of the free webinars and getting this wonderful, life-changing, transformational information out there. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. And also thank you for those of you who have participated over the years. Could not have done it without you. So I really appreciate it. Marilyn Devonish, the NeuroSuccess coach, rapid transformation specialist and futurist from transformationstm.com. Over and out. I will catch you later and see you on the virtual workshops if you're joining us, either live and in person or via the power of quantum entanglement and remotely. Catch you later.